Hi guys, Simon Trezellian here. As you've probably seen by my posts, I've just finished my fourth book, which is called The Cradle Falls, which is a sequel to The Order of the Nephilim, which is now going to go through its own metamorphosis as the time goes on. So a few people have been asking me about what I do, how I do it, whether I work in a disciplined manner, all of those type of things. So I just thought I'd just give you a bit of an inkling as to how I'm doing this and what I'm actually doing. So this is my office, if you like. This is where I actually write. This is my desk. Pretty untidy sometimes, but that's just the way it is. But one of the things you got to get right first and foremost is your environment. I mean, this is my view. Okay, so that's what I look at every day when I'm sitting here writing, researching, doing all the things that I'm doing. So unless you get your environment right, nothing's going to work. You've got to feel inspired. You've got to feel fueled in order to be able to write. Also, as you see here, I've got two screens. So I have my laptop, and that is attached to the bigger screen, which is where I do most of my writing. And then I have another screen. If you're going to use Facebook, don't have it as a distraction, because it then starts to encroach on all the things that you're actually trying to do. So I have Facebook over on the other side. If people need to get hold of me, if I'm doing marketing, all of that type of thing, then it just comes up and I can see it in my peripheral vision. So I have everything that I need. I also have my phone directly there as well, so that I can deal with anything that I want to do from there. Now, when I was writing the book, trust me, I do quite a lot of research, but I'm also let me look at this. This is how Order of the Nephilim started. Yeah, sorry, this is Cradle Falls. This is how Cradle Falls started. So it was just a piece of paper, and I outlined, as you can see, in 3 acts. So 3 acts is what Hollywood requires for you to actually make a movie. So the first act is the setup, it's like the hero's journey, the call to action, meeting the people. Then the second one is where the bulk of the story is, and the third act is always the reveal or the final battle, that type of thing. So this is actually Cradle Falls. You're getting a sneak peek now into the book Cradle Falls. You see Act 1. I use a post-it note which are color-coded just to keep track of my heroes and my antagonists and protagonists and what they're doing. So the various different colors, the reds are the antagonists and the heroes, and the whites are plot that just actually fuels part of the story, and the yellow ones, in various different forms of yellow, are the secondary characters or things that are actually pertinent to the plot as time goes on. So that's how I do it. And also I have these books. So I always use like these leather bound journals, which are my notes for every page. Is a different part of the chapter, so that when I get specific ideas in regards to a specific chapter, it goes on one page. I'm not having to go through pages and pages of notes trying to find out what part of genius I wanted. So I have these very high quality leather journals. I actually have all of my stuff in there, and when I get when I actually get a good idea, I write it down. I do the little drawings and all this type of thing, and I keep it. And then when I'm actually writing that part of the story, then I'll get that part of the journal out, and then we go again. So I try and remain very organized in regards to that, because when you're writing, especially if you're writing novels, and this is the magic of it, I think, because when you're writing about something that it's pretty easy. I mean, you just delve into the stuff that you've got, you write it down, and there it is. When you're dealing with a novel, a lot of the time you don't know what is going to come next, and therefore you're just as surprised when you get a good idea as anybody else. And therefore, being able to document that, you start to place it in a very ordered form. Now the other thing is as well, is that when you keep these things around, what is that actually saying? It's actually saying that you intend to have good ideas, that you expect to have good ideas, and therefore it's almost like the universe goes, right, well, he's ready, he's got his little book with him, he's got his pen with him, so let's give him a good idea. and he's sure to write it down and incorporate it, and that's essentially what I do. So this has taken, quite a while to put together, as indeed most things are. And now we've actually finished the book. Now go to editing. It's like a movie. You can get it all in the can, but then you got to do the editing. You got to do, what they call post-development. So what's happening now is that the book is in its first edit, and it will take some time. It'll probably go to 3 or 4, possibly even more edits before it becomes like print ready. So already I'm planning the next book, and guess what? It's going to look just like that. I'm going to take these post-it notes off, they'll be thrown away, and that board will be ready for the next book as well, which is going to be called The Return of the Anunnaki. And you see, I'm already starting the planning process now. I'm actually starting to create what it is that I actually need to have. Getting the covers right, getting the websites, all of these things. It just shows that you're prepared, that you're actually ready to roll. They often say that everyone has a book in them, but my question is does everybody have what's inside them to be able to write a book? It takes a lot of long, lonely nights. For me, I don't write 9 to 5. I don't just sit there and wait for it to come. I actually have to wait until the inspiration is there, the muse is there, and when it is, I can't stop. So that's just me, and I know that that's a fairly unique thing. But once you do, it's amazing how fulfilling it is. And I finished the book the other night, and I did it on Easter. And it was a real emotion for me, because you got so much of this time that you spend that you can't really necessarily share with anybody else, and you're so immersed in that story, you actually become the story. And when it's over, when you write that final line, it's almost like giving birth, and you go, oh. And I had to go outside, and so you see I have a little swing there outside, and I sat there with Pamela, and we toasted to to a new creation. The next emotion will be when it turns up in a box with a whole bunch of other them, and they're all bound, and you pick it up for the first time, and it's like holding a newborn baby. So it's a very fulfilling thing. I can understand that it's also a very frustrating thing for a lot of people as well. So it's not one to be taken lightly. But if you can prepare, one of my old teachers used to say, remember the 7 P's, and that was prior preparation and planning prevents piss poor performance. So get prepared, get your environment set, get your mindset. As you see, I'm still in gym clothes. I go to the gym every day because that sets my mind. It means that I can think when I'm on the bike or pushing weights. I can actually think about what it is that I'm actually going to do during the course of the day, and that sets me up for everything. It's also a much healthier response as well. So I do that. I come in and I'm prepared then. I'm prepared to actually do the work, but I'm also prepared, if necessary, to potter around, do some washing up, go and do the laundry, walk the dogs, whatever it means. I'm not just a professional writer that's actually going to just sit there and work, and then 5 o'clock you stop. Sometimes I'm working to midnight or 1 o'clock in the morning. Sometimes, I get up early, and it depends when the inspiration comes. So I find that for me is probably the easiest thing, because then I'm not pushing it. I'm actually in flow. And when you work like I do, and you almost prepare for the times that that you're going to write, because you are in flow, you never get writer's block. If you don't get writer's block, you don't get frustration, you don't get self-doubt, you don't get totally pissed off with the process. You just go with the flow. And that is why I'm now on my 4th book, and immediately, and now bang, I'm into my 5th. I'm also writing another screenplay as well. So it's keeping busy, keeping the mind going, fueling it with good nutrients. I take a lot of good supplements, good water. You got to hydrate the brain, because that's where it's all coming from. So that's just a little inkling into the world of Trezellian and how we actually do things here. So that's me, and just thought I'd give you that little behind the scenes peek. So enjoy, take care, and I'll see you at some point in the future. Happy writing.